What's going on, guys? It's Brandon, or Tesla Flex, and right here with me I have my 2026 Model Y Performance. And in this video I'll be going over 15 accessories for your Tesla Model Y Premium and Performance, starting from little things like floor mats and console organizers up to big things like the matte paint protection film I have here on my Tesla Model Y Performance. But before we get into things, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's hop into it, starting with the exterior. Starting off with probably the most noticeable accessory on my Model Y. Right here we have the Defense Plus matte paint protection film from Dry Protected. Now this is a do-it-yourself film, which means you order the kit from them and then they send you all the materials and instructions to do it yourself from the comfort of your own garage or wherever you have space. I saved about $5,000 doing it myself, which was really nice. It has a matte finish right here, but you can also get a glossy finish if you prefer. Now, what I really like about it is that it has a hydrophobic coating on top, which makes it super easy to maintain this car. I just bring it through a car wash and it just rinses all off. It's super nice. They also have a risk-free guarantee, so if you do mess up a panel while installing, they'll replace it free of charge. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. Now, if you want to get this kit for yourself, you can get it in the description below, and make sure to use code TESLAFLEX to save 10% on your order. Let's move on to the next accessory. The next accessory we have today is a drying towel. Now, this is the Blackline drying towel, and I've been using these for around 3 years. They're actually a pretty large towel. I believe it's 24 by 32. Very nice. And now this can actually soak up a gallon of water. And my favorite part about this is it has the twisted loop design. As you can see right here, everything is super nice, so it absorbs so much water. It's actually a little wet right now because I brought my Model Y through the car wash and then dried it afterwards. And with the matte paint protection film from Dry Protected, it's really satisfying because the water just sits on top of the film. I use this and it wipes it all off. So if you have a ceramic coating or a matte paint protection film, this is definitely the thing to get. It still works just fine if you don't have your car ceramic coated, but it works better with this, of course. If you guys want to learn more about this, I'll have a link in the description below. Let's move on to our next accessory, the mud flaps. Next up, we have some mud flaps from Basenor. Now, right here, we have the front mud flaps. The reason I usually recommend mud flaps, especially on the Model Y, is because if you look at the shape of the Model Y and look at where the wheel kind of aligns with on the front, you have this area on the back door, which just gets beat to crap. You can already see right here on my paint protection film, there's already been some rocks from before I put the mud flaps on that have kind of beat this area up. It also really helps back here, just kind of keeping some of the rocks and water on the ground. Really nice, but I really do recommend you get the mud flaps for the Model Y, especially for this area right here. Even if you just get the front mud flaps, huge difference it makes. I've seen Model Ys that have the paint stripped off that part of the door. So if you combine maybe even a tiny paint protection film right here that you can get from Tesla and the mud flaps, it really does make a difference in protecting the back of the door and keeping the paint in good shape. So let's move on to our next accessory. Next up, I actually have an accessory that is not compatible with the Model Y Performance, but is for you Model Y Premium owners out there with the 20-inch Helix wheels. Now, the MagBak rim case is pretty much what it sounds like. It is a case for your Tesla's rims. Now, I actually have the MagBak rim case on my mom's Model Y Premium, and it's really good at protecting the rims because, as you know, the Tesla tires are kind of low profile just for better efficiency. So because of that, it can cause damage on the wheels if you hit a curb wrong or you hit the median potentially. It happens, and there's a way to prevent the damage and also hide existing damage. Now, the rim case is super easy to fit on. It takes about 15 minutes to get all 4 of them on, and from there it protects the edge of the rim from any curbs or medians. And the best part about it is if it does get damaged, you can easily replace each piece one by one. If you want to learn more about that, you can find it in the description below, and don't forget to use code TESLAFLEX to save 15% on your order. Next up, we have another accessory from MagBak. This is actually one of my favorite accessories. It's the MagBak wireless charger. Now, this has actually been redesigned for the new 16-inch display in the Model Y Premium and Performance. And one note before I get any further is if you have the black headliner in your Tesla like this I actually put in myself, but all the new ones have black headliner and the 16-inch display. If you have a black headliner, you have the 16-inch display. So it's kind of a way for you to help figure out which one you have when you're ordering. But the nice part about this MagBak wireless charger, besides it being a perfect fit, is that you can actually wire it down into your center console. So it's actually kind of impossible to see. So I have the wire right here. It goes underneath and then it goes down into here and through my center console and then into here and plugs directly in to the center console USB-C port, which is super nice. It looks super clean. And it's compatible with all MagSafe devices, all MagSafe cases, and that also includes MagBak's Elite and Classic cases. It just sits right here, and then it will charge your phone for you. It has it in line of sight, so when you are driving, it's actually super convenient because you don't have to look down at your phone. I know everyone kind of goes on their phone, let's be honest. It's a lot safer to have your phone right here if you have like specific instructions or stuff you're trying to follow from your phone. Instead of it being right here and having to look down constantly, your phone can be right up here and be in the line of sight, so you can keep your eyes on the road for when you're driving or even when you're not driving. If you want to learn more about this wireless charger from MagBak, you can find it in the description below. And of course, don't forget to use code TESLAFLEX to save 15% on your order. Next up, we have probably one of the most important accessories for any Tesla, especially because Tesla doesn't really do a great job of including this. They have carpet floor mats in the Model Y premium trims, but let's just say they're not very good. I never use them. So I recommend the 3D Max Spider floor mats. Now, these are all-weather liners. They have a nice texture to them and they're very nice fit. Now they have the set for the front, but you can also get an additional liner here for the back. Now, if you have kids, I highly recommend this. Not only does it protect the ground right here, it also has a nice raised edge. That way, if anything does spill, any liquid, it will kind of stay in this area, and then it's super easy to clean up. You just spray it off or wipe it down. Here in the trunk is probably one of the more useful ones, especially if you are carrying cargo around. We have the cargo liner. Now, this, of course, also is raised a little bit along the edge, and then you can also actually still open this up to access this area, which is pretty convenient. And if you ever do need to wash it, you literally just can fold that up and then dump it out. You can buy floor mats just as a set with the front mat and then the second row mat, or you could buy the full set, which includes seat backing, trunk mats, literally every single mat possible. I usually recommend at least going with the front and rear mats, and then of course the cargo liners, because under here is not very fun to keep clean. If you guys want to get a discount on this, make sure to use code FLEX3D10, and I will have all these linked in the description as well. Let's move on to our next accessory. Next up, we have my favorite tire inflator. This is the Fanttik X9 APEX. Now, this is a portable tire inflator. It actually has a USB-C port on here for charging devices if needed. It also has a connected USB-C cable on here if you want to charge devices. And the cool part about it is that it recharges via USB-C, so I can actually charge it with my own Tesla. Now, if I go right here, I can turn it on, and I have a whole menu right here. So it has a pretty good battery life, but we have different modes on here. So we have modes for car tires, modes for motorcycle tires and other motorized vehicles like that. And then we have bike tires, we have sports balls, and then we also have the custom setting for basically whatever else you want to do. And you can increase the PSI with the buttons on here, super tactile and nice. There's also a flashlight built in. So if I hold this down, it's right here. It does a few different modes. So I think we got an SOS in here. This is just a red one, but lots of built-in things on this. And like I said, you can recharge it via USB-C. So it's pretty nice and super nice to keep around. I did buy this cable separately, or this tube separately. They come with a twist-on one, and while I like this, I don't really like that, because I like that this kind of pops on right here. So I can actually even go over here to this wheel and show you just how easily I can use it. So all I have to do is twist this off, and then I just pop this on. And right here you can see my PSI, which is actually not fully connected, which would help. You can see my PSI right now is 41. I need to be 42. So I can actually go into here, and I can go put it right here, and I can click start. And then from there, it'll basically fill up the tire for me. So I'll just leave this here. And then once it's done, it automatically shuts off at the selected PSI, and then I can undo this and put the valve stem cap back on. So it's a super nice, convenient tire inflator to use and keep around. So if you want to find out more about this, I will have this linked in the description below. Let's hop into our next accessory. Next up, I have another type of mat for a carpeted area in this car, but it's not really for the inside, it's actually for the door pockets. So as you know, the door pockets in the Model Y are carpeted. So I actually got these door pocket, I want to say protectors. They give it a pretty good amount of space. So if you have like drinks in here and they spill, it just spills into here, which is pretty nice. They have it for all 4 doors. So we can actually see the driver's side is a little bit different because of the shape of the door, where this one actually has somewhat of a space for a water bottle. I also have some 3D printed stuff there, my J1772 adapter there. It keeps it all organized and everything. Now I do want to point out one thing on this door. So the Model Y has emergency release latches right in here. Now I don't love that there's like a fully covered thing, but you can easily just kind of pull this out in an emergency. Comes out really easy. So that way you can access this latch right here to open the door in an emergency. But in general, I think these are a pretty good accessory, but I do want you to keep that in mind if you get these, that you may need to remove it at one point, but you know, as you see, they go out and go back in pretty easily. So I'll have these in the description as well, but let's hop into our next accessory. Next up, we have a few smaller accessories here, all related to the center console actually. We have a center console wrap. This is a carbon fiber vinyl wrap from DIY Wrap Club, formerly known as Test Bros. You can get this from their website, and it's pretty nice. You wrap each piece separately, and then you can actually get this whole piece right here, and you wrap the cup holders. But while we're actually back here at the armrest, we have some Spigen accessories. So we have the Spigen armrest organizer. So as you guys know, we have this little storage area under here, but honestly, it's super annoying just how unorganized it can get. So we have this, which actually fits perfectly right in here. It has, you know, splits into two essentially. You can keep your keys, wallet, other things in here. And then right here, we actually have a fixed console organizer. Now this is one of two they offer for the Model 3 and Model Y. This one I like to have, honestly, just because it's way higher up and it has a space for like my chapstick and other small stuff right here, a dedicated place for my sunglasses. But then if you don't want this large one and you want to be able to access the rest of the car, we have a sliding one. So this one can slide all the way front and back, which is super nice. I have my extra mics, extra sunglasses, and other stuff back here. But as I was saying, I don't really like how low it is, which is why I like to have this higher up one, because you can actually fit both with this closing, which is pretty convenient. But if you guys want to find more on these, all three of these or all four of these, they'll be in the description below. But let's hop into an accessory that you might use while you're supercharging. Right here we have a folding table from Jowua. It's pretty nice actually, very high quality. If you're supercharging and you want to eat something, you can actually just set it down right here and it will kind of sit right here and right here. That way you can maybe go on a computer right here, or you know, pull up your iPad and play games while you're bored. Of course you have the screen in the car to do stuff too. But it's also, honestly, I would say the most useful if you're going to eat something while you're supercharging, because you can set your food down here, you can eat, watch something on your screen. Pretty nice, and I gotta say it's pretty nice how it just like folds up, and you can put this away. You can put this in the front, it fits in there perfectly. I usually just throw it in the trunk, in the deep trunk, so that way I can grab it when I need it. But if you guys want to find more about this, it'll be linked in the description as well. Let's move into some of our last accessories. All right, next up we have the Commander from Enhance Auto. Now this is one of my favorite accessories because this right here is actually another brain for your car. It allows you to customize it in so many different ways. So I'm going to show you just a few ways I like to do it here in the Enhance app. So we actually have a whole bunch of different accessories you can buy from Enhance. We have the dash, which actually goes right up here. I actually am getting a new one soon. Then we have the buttons, we have the knob, and the stalks and the strip. So we got a good amount of accessories here, but the one I want to focus on is the Commander. Now the Commander allows you to do so many different things. Now if you have autopilot, you can actually use this to turn on continuous autopilot. So if you have autopilot but not full self-driving, and you want to be able to switch lanes but have it re-enable when you get in the lane, continuous autopilot essentially will re-enable it after you switch lanes automatically. Now we also have some modes called kick down, which kind of just allows you to enable your car's max power. It's basically like a launch mode. Then we have some auto wipers off. If you don't like that full self-driving constantly keeps the wipers on automatic, you can turn that off. You can also prevent autopilot penalties. So if you consistently are going over 85 and locking yourself out of autopilot, this will actually automatically disable autopilot or full self-driving when you pass 85 or 140 kilometers per hour. Now the door handles, you can actually customize to do different things. You can customize it to open the front when you pull long enough. You can customize it to unlock stuff. You can customize it to do really anything. We also have some upon approach features. So this can be used for, you know, having stuff unlock, having stuff open as soon as you walk up to the car. But right here is probably my favorite. So we have the lighting controls. So the ambient light effects, you can actually customize it so many different ways. We have the blind spot assist, which will essentially turn the car's accent lights right here to be yellow if it detects a car in your blind spot. Then we have the turn signals. You can set it to have your turn signals flash on the door panels. You also have autopilot and the acceleration mode, the greening animation, which will essentially cycle through the rainbow on all of your accent lights when you open the door. You can have it set to do so many different things with the lighting strips. They're already in the car, so it's pretty convenient. Then we also have some other features like the scroll wheel button. You can actually adjust it to shift the gears if you really like. You can also, make an easy entry profile for the passenger. You can have your headlights. You can just basically customize the car, turn off stuff, turn on stuff that isn't supposed to be turned on or off, which I find to be pretty cool. This is literally just scratching the surface. They have accessories that are built off of this. So many ways to customize your Tesla. So if you want to get one of these for yourself, make sure to use code FLEX to get a discount on your order. And now time for our last accessory. This one is directly from Tesla, and the reason I'm including it is because there's really no good alternative, and I really like how this works. These are the console dividers from the Tesla shop. Now, you can get these directly from them, and what they do is they look just like this, but they fit into these two slots. So if you see the front right here, pretty good amount of space. You can actually use this as a cooler. You can just throw some ice in there. But it actually has these two built-in things, which people were wondering what they were for at first. But you can slide it in here to have a wider one like this. And it just fits right in. They don't really move once they're in. And then you can also put it into here for a slimmer one, which is actually conveniently like a really good fit for the mobile connector. You can also put stuff on the side. So if you have groceries and you don't want them to fly around, it's pretty nice because you can put some in here, and the rest in here. That way everything is pretty well organized, and honestly just stops stuff from sliding back and forth in the front. But that's pretty much it for this accessory. I mean, it's right on the Tesla shop. I'll have a link in the description below. But let's go ahead and finish off this video because I don't have anything other accessories to show you guys. All right, guys, so that is 15 accessories for your Model Y Premium and Performance. If you have any questions about any of the accessories I mentioned in the video, let me know down in the comments below. And if there's any other accessories you'd like to see me test out in the future for future videos or short videos, let me know as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I'll see you in the next one.